All right, Nelson Justin Evan says, I feel uneasy when I hear people refer to their dogs as their children. It seems that the identity of a human child is being improperly attributed to an animal. There is an attempt to elevate the animal to the level of the human. Yes. Is a dog treated like a child a chimera? Scientists creating chimeras through genetics. Can chimeras also be made through improper identity and acts of perception? It has to do with it has to do with equality. This is one of the problems of the idea of equality, is that the idea of equality kind of infects the mind, and then it starts to manifest itself in very strange ways. And so, Plato saw this in the Symposium, where Socrates, I think it's Socrates who describes democracy, and he talks about how the problem with democracy and the idea of equality, one of the fruits of that is that people will start to see treat their animals as equal. And you could imagine that, like, veganism has something to do with that too. It's like a weird idea that people see themselves kind of at the same level as everything, as everything. Like, everything is just kind of flat. And so I agree. And I think it's also the fruit of people not having kids. Most people who treat their animals as children either don't have kids or sometimes, because animals, a dog especially, is absolutely, most dogs are like more affectionate and more subservient than humans. And so it's a dangerous thing if you try to put all your kind of affection and authority into an animal, because it actually will work. The dog will be completely dependent on you. And so it can be a temptation for those who don't have children, or who maybe I wouldn't say don't like their children, or I would say maybe aren't willing to put in the effort needed to really connect with your children. So, but I don't have a problem with having a pet. I have a cat. I like my cat. I pet my cat. It's fine. And I don't want a dog, but it's mostly because of the trouble. But I have no problem with people who have dogs and connect with dogs as well. I would just say it's mostly when people go all out, and people know the difference. Like, people who treat their pets as if they're human, and as if their pets are their children. So hopefully I'm not offended all you guys with the dogs. Because the thing about having children is that it is transformative. It's the kind of transformation that you wouldn't want if you're looking just for pleasure, and that you can only experience once it happens, right? I can tell you that the experience of, like, holding your child is something that will, like, bring you in a transcendent moment that will completely transform you. But you can't know that. You have to experience it, because there's a lot of pain which goes with it. There's a lot of suffering which comes with having children, but the joys are beyond description.
Transcendent joy through suffering, through sacrifice. Absolutely.
Yeah. And so the idea of, like, the single guy, who's like in his 40s and isn't married and doesn't have children and who doesn't have any direction, it's all connected together. But not just that, like, the couple that decides not to have children and then, like, get a dog and then 2 dogs, and then their whole life is about their dogs, and then they, it's like their dogs are and so it's like, and it becomes a caricature and a parody of reality, and their whole life becomes a joke. And what I'm saying is true.
I'm holding my tongue right now. I have several people that just came to mind.
So it's like, this stuff is actually talking about reality. And so people can knock at the idea that contraception is a problem. They can knock at it, but look at the fruits. It's like, you could, in the 60s, you could say that, but now, I don't know, man. Look at the fruits.